We.
And we are live. Hello, Internet. This is Awful Goodness number 84 with 19 in the parentheses. I'm your host with the most, Condor Jazz. And joining me is not Midnight, but someone, maybe his second in command. It is. You love him, you need him, you smell him. It's Canalis.
Hola.
And absolutely getting topped by us is Imega Arts. And
Hola.
first
Viva
comment of the night
México.
goes to
Hey,
this emotionally unstable amphibian.
this is one
Hi
of my
there.
Instagram friends. Nice seeing you here.
All
Ah,
right. Well, Mr. Emotionally Unstable Amphibian, enjoy your gigantic penis. It'll grow at least maybe 2 inches throughout the duration of this show. So, yeah, yeah.
it's a limited offer.
Yes. So, what's been going on with you two gentlemen?
Ladies
Well,
first.
ladies. Okay. I'm a lady now. The big guy who's like 250 pounds and has a bushy beard and a
You are
dick
a
like a
you are a
baby arm.
plus size. You're a plus size whammon.
Okay, I guess I can identify as a lesbian trapped in a massive hairy body. Yeah, let's fucking go with that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
No,
just an
it's been
extremely butch lesbian.
I am an extremely butch lesbian. Let's fucking go with that. I'm like Anne Hesh mixed with fucking I don't know Arnold Schwarzenegger, something like that.
Yeah.
So
So
my weekend has been pretty mid. They really didn't do anything. Oh, they opened the Popeye. We call it Popeye.
Popeyes.
Popeye's
We
chicken.
call you weirdos call it Popeyes. What the
We,
fuck is wrong
no,
with you
we
people?
call it Popeye. We call it Popeye because we speak the Frank language of the seas, which is Spanish that predates yours. So show some respect.
How about no?
All right. But we did go to Popeyes because they opened the Popeyes in the local mall, further destroying our cultural heritage. Like, we don't have fucking pubs or taverns or restaurants anymore. We have fucking franchises now. We have Starbucks and McDonald's and Popeyes, and we don't exist as a people anymore. This fucking sucks.
Oh, what
Yeah.
is that?
Oh, Popeyes is like the
No, no,
It's
that
like
um
yeah,
that
it's like
sound.
KFC. It's like KFC.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's some. It's some like buzzing going on in the background.
Honk honk honk, it's our porch goose, Paulo Costa. He says, I affirm your stunning and braveness. And he also adds that Spaniards pronounce every foreign brand bad.
You know,
Even in my backwater country of Peru, we pronounce it Popeyes, not
no, no,
Popeyes.
excuse me. We pronounce every word right because we pronounce it phonetically. So an e is an e for us. It's not an e. That's the little stick thing. It's the Americans. It's actually the English speakers one. The English speaking ones, the ones who twist the language into like aberrations with it, like pronouncing C like an E, but then they say death with an A, and both words are like a fucking E and an A. You know?
Mm. I know how to pronounce the Spanish letters. I mean, I haven't been learning Spanish for like almost half my goddamn life.
Oh, it's basically like yawning.
What
You yawn and then you scream. That's basically how you pronounce the Spanish vowels.
Hmm. Anything else before we move on to our little bean boy?
No, not really. No.
All right, bean boy, tell us about your. It was an important holiday yesterday.
Yesterday and before yesterday.
Yeah, well, Friday, technically.
Yep. It was Independence Day, cabrones.
Ah, Viva México!
Viva México.
Ah.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
much tequila did you imbibe?
I didn't drink a lot. I was eating. Yeah, because the thing is that if you drink, you eventually are gonna puke everything you eat, and I didn't want that to happen. Yeah, Canadus remembers that because he's the day we decided to kick the ass of his ancestors.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. It's our fault for giving you a fucking written language in firearms. We shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You
Karma's a bitch.
thought the human sacrifices would stop, but now
They're only getting
they're
worse.
just ramped up.
They're sacrificing people to the cartels instead of to the gods. What the
Yeah.
like doing horrible stuff, like
No,
ripping
no,
their
no.
hearts off and shit.
Correction. Maybe not Quetzalcoatl, but Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte is the new Quetzalcoatl.
Kind of is.
Yeah. So the Spaniards tried to stop the human executions, but they failed.
It's
Yeah.
like that.
Failure.
It's like that web comic by whoever. What's her name? The one like with the cat. You know, she steps on a graphic and she's like, "This will make the graphic go down," and suddenly the graphic rises like crazy. And she's like, "No, no, wait, that's the same with like sacrifices in Mexico. Or like with our arrival here, the human, the murders will stop," and suddenly they start to rise. No, no, wait.
You know, I was thinking about this because there were broadcasting on TV the road to El Dorado.
Mm.
Oh,
And who do you think the culture that they use in the movie is more similar to the Peruvian culture or to the Mexican culture?
because isn't the story like it's supposed to take place in like the Peruvian jungle, but then they added like, because I don't know if there was no. My Incan culture is a little shaky, but I am not sure if there was like, because the stone thingy depicted apparently some form of Quetzalcoatl.
Hmm.
Quetzalcoatl.
I always
Yeah,
thought that it took place in like the Yucatan Peninsula,
yeah,
Perhaps.
around
because
that
they
area.
also worship the jaguar.
Mm.
Yeah, so maybe it takes place on like the Yucatan, the Maya area, but the original El Dorado is in Peru, but it's actually a guy that they would dress in gold and then he would like jump into a lake or something.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's like Michael what's it Michael Douglas movie, the Emerald whatever, the
What
Purple
up,
Heart.
potato nigga?
Hey,
Nigga.
Hey,
so yeah, this movie in which they go looking for a jewel somewhere in the desert and turns out the jewel is a dude. I remember that like a high point of
Is it
disappointment.
romancing the stone? You're
I think it's
describing romancing the stone.
I think it's romancing the stone. I know the title in Spanish is La Joya del Nilo, so the jewel of the Nile. Not
That was the
denial, like
sequel.
denial. It's the sequel, right? I need
Yeah.
to rewatch those movies. I know Danny DeVito was in them.
So potato nigga, what's up?
I am excuse me. I am setting up Rumble.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And
If you
the fat
coordinate this
greasy
with
one
me
in the
more
corner,
than
can you share the history that I just dropped? And the little Mew just like removed Midnight because she's Mewish.
listen, if you coordinate this with me more than 10 minutes before you're trying to go live, I can do it more than 10 minutes.
Well,
into the
I
show.
saw you, and when I was going to talk to you, you suddenly went offline. But also,
By the way, you sound really echoey, Midnight.
All right.
Paulo Costa also says that, they named a giant pterosaur from the Cretaceous period after
Mm-hmm.
Quetzalcoatl. Yes, it's the Quetzalcoatlus and it was a big fucker. I'm a huge bitch. Okay, so first news story of the day. Um, maybe not as groundbreaking, but a little bit sussy. I don't know if apparently he was very popular, but we have another mysterious comedian death. So
Mhm.
Geechee Guy, a favorite Vegas comic, found dead at 59.
I vaguely remember that name.
Yeah, because I remember he
I
used
imagine,
to do like the late night shows, and his
yeah,
claim to fame
I
is,
imagine when I was 14, I watched him on like Caroline's Comedy Hour, but I don't
yeah, well, his
recall
claim
anything
to,
about him.
well, I was saying that his claim to fame was he holds like the world's record for telling the most jokes in a single stand up routine or something along that line. But they say he tossed joke grenades, but they say that he beat Ray Romano on Star Search in the early 90s and was a quarterfinalist on America's Got Talent. He was apparently found unresponsive in his bedroom at about 12:30 p.m. on Thursday.
How old was he again?
59.
Yeah, we're back to the 1980s in which people died at the age of 59, you know? So if they gone through a
Hmm.
fucking war and their blood type was whiskey.
Yeah. So I mean, we can say that he probably lived the life of a comedian, drugs, booze, self-loathing, self-loathing, but we could also give it the Bob Saget angle too.
Hmm.
But yeah, he was found unresponsive by his landlord Jerry Jones, who was also a um, Vegas entertainer, and he confirmed the guy's death. He looked like he was just fast asleep. There wasn't anything unusual. He just looked peaceful with the covers over his shoulders. He had a terrible sleep schedule and would sleep 14 or 15 hours straight. For him
Okay.
to be in his room for that long wasn't anything surprising.
No,
Oh,
that is the one thing that I envy from his lifestyle. Not the drugs, not the women, not the fame, just the ability to sleep for 14 hours straight.
hmm. It also says that he had health concerns, just like blood pressure,
Mm.
and he had like a nursing team to visit him.
Well, it's very common that those who doesn't sleep a lot suffer a lot from blood pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Like
Hmm.
insomnia can actually kill you if you let it go on for long enough.
Okay, so he was a popular club comic for years in Las Vegas, and he would go to Brad Garrett's comedy club at MGM Grand and the Laugh Factory at the Tropicana. And he was known as a guy who could crush it for 15 minutes or for an hour and 15 minutes. But
Incidentally, and just on a nerdy note, Brad Garrett was the voice of Lobo in the Justice League cartoons.
Oh, really?
not,
Yeah, which I think is awesome.
that's cool.
Yep.
And then Guy filled in for him when Brad Garrett was cast in Everybody Loves Raymond. So he beats out the main guy from the show, and then he fills in for the second guy.
Wait,
Mm,
are you saying that Brad Garrett is sus?
I don't know.
Should
Anything
we
else?
suspect of Jeff Brad?
Let's
Brad,
see.
Brad, what's your alibi, Brad?
Geechee always did a great job. This Harry Basil guy said he would always come and hang out in our green room, and his go-to song was "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel. He would always sing this song because they would do like a karaoke after. Let's see. Anything else? Well, yep, he was on the sixth season of America's Got Talent in 2011, and then he was on the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson and the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And his claim to fame, and this is his claim to fame, the fastest joke-telling comic with 676 told in an hour at the Improv.
Damn.
But
No,
I
that
guess.
can actually kill someone because if you keep telling me like really funny jokes, I can stop
Uh-huh.
laughing. I would like fucking die.
Hmm. Yeah, but it looks like this English guy, Tim Vine, beat him to set his record of 499 as the official record holder. Okay.
Mm.
And here's one of his jokes. It's like, you know how you can tell when your girlfriend is fat? She can't fit into your wife's clothes.
Oh,
Uh, I guess that's really it. He was just Geechee guy. He either died suspiciously or he just lived the life of a comedian.
I mean, it is entirely possible that the agents of the New World Order are trying to exterminate like the old guard of anti-PC, really combative comedians, so they can substitute them for this new breed of lukewarm. Why did the chicken cross the road because of patriarchy type comedians?
Huh.
That's just my theory. That's just my theory.
Now, on to one of our big stories for tonight. Exclusive! Armed man arrested at Robert F. Kennedy Jr. event in L.A.
Oh
This
shit! Here we
individual,
go again.
an armed man detained by security and later arrested before the start of an event with Democratic presidential contender Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Friday evening in Los Angeles. It says the man arrived at the event and claimed to be employed by the organizers, but campaign security officials did not recognize him and detained him until police arrived. He was found to be carrying a handgun and ammunition, and will likely face charges of impersonating a police officer or federal agent, and possibly unlawful possession of firearms. Let's see. Obviously, the Kennedy campaign is sensitive to security concerns given the tragic history, with John Boy and Daddy Bobby after they got plugged. And it says that in July, Kennedy noted that the Biden administration had denied him Secret Service protection, despite the fact that he had requested it from the Department of Homeland Security and had an extensively documented need for it.
That rings a bell.
Hmm. And then, let's see. Here's from his official Twitter page. We got a face picture of the guy. And Robert Kennedy says, I'm very grateful that alert and fast acting protectors from
That's
Gavin
that's
DeBecca
his
and Associates.
that's his Uncle Ted.
Oh,
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talks
oh,
more like this. I don't understand why it's so hard to tell the difference between this and this.
okay. Then I'm from Gavin DeBecker and Associates. Spotted and detained an armed man who has attempted to approach me and my Hispanic heritage speech at the Whaleshire Abel Theater in Los Angeles tonight. The man, wearing two shoulder holsters with loaded pistols and spare ammunition magazines, was carrying a U.S. Marshal badge on a lanyard and a belt clip federal ID. He identified himself as a member of my security detail. Armed GDBA team members moved quickly to isolate and detain the man until LAPD arrived to make the arrest. I'm also grateful to LAPD for its rapid response. In bold, I'm still entertaining a hope that President Biden will allow me Secret Service protection. I am the first presidential candidate in history to whom the White House has denied a request for protection. And yeah, look at this.
The only reason that wasn't the worst imitation I've ever heard of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is because the one he did it before was the worst imitation I've ever heard of Robert F.
I
Kennedy.
mean, to be honest, I only heard of John F. Kennedy, and even then I just imitate JFK from Clone High. Hey you, get off my dinghy! No, not you. Nothing ever bad happens to the Kennedys. And then his car flips over. But yeah, take a good look, people. Take a good look. This is the man. This, I don't know if we call him a man who wanted to put another notch in the beds on the bedpost of
I just want
Kennedy's
to know,
killed.
was he wearing a T-shirt that said "I hate blacks and Hispanics and gays and everything.
No,
I am highly intolerant."
he was wearing a black EMS shirt. So on the front it had the little EMS symbol, and then on the back it said EMS.
If this guy turns out to have Mossad connections, will RFK be ready to finally fucking name the people who murdered his father and uncle and attempted to murder himself? Because we all fucking know who's behind it.
Oh my god. Okay, so look in the background. If they're at a Hispanic event, look what they have. They have a fruit stand. They have a frutero. I miss those so much in Mexico.
I thought you were gonna say it was actually the Fruteros Guild who assassinated Kennedy. Like
Maybe.
that's one theory that I've never heard. So I was
But yeah, one thing I miss most about living in Mexico, I miss walking out on the street, seeing some lady or some guy with a fruit cart and getting a cup full of mango drenched in lime juice and chili powder.
And seeing how they assassinated Kennedy, you miss that as well.
But yeah, look at this. Got neck tattoo, hand tattoo, knuckle tattoo that says free.
Yo. Wasn't there like a really powerful fruit company in the US, like in the 1930s, something like that?
Dole. That they took over Hawaii.
That's what I meant. I remember seeing the building when I was in New Orleans.
Yeah, the Citrus International Association. Yep. So yeah, that guy has I am very badass energy. Tried killing another Kennedy. History will not remember you. But unfortunately the internet will. Oh boy, are you ready? Are you guys ready for another half-assed impersonation?
Always am.
I'm being professionally canceled for my moral stance on trans butchery by Jordan B. Peterson.
Jesus, that's awful. Oh my god.
The problem is I can't get that nasally voice in him. So the College of Psychologists in Ontario has ordered Jordan B. Peterson to undergo professional coaching. Why? Because he was tweeting opinions deemed unbecoming of a psychologist. So here Peterson explains to the Post why he said he was right. And I don't know who can do a better Jordan Peterson.
I can try. You like zoom in.
All right.
I am likely to show my license to practice as a clinical psychologist.
You sound more like Blair from Toast of London, unfortunately.
Well, that's because it's the same guy trying to imitate both of them. It's me. He is me. It's like when in Canada the lobsters try to mate, and there's an intrinsic hierarchy to that.
You sound like a gay Dalek.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, okay.
Destroy my asshole.
No, that actually sounds like Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, now you can read Jordan Peterson's words in his voice. Yes.
I don't think I have a good impression of Jordan Peterson there, buddy.
Well, it sounds like
I have to spend a lot more time working on it.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
It's difficult to... I didn't say I could do a good Jordan Peterson impression. I said that one's bad.
Yeah. Well, I guess I will have to subject myself watching his 3-hour-long videos to capture his inflection. To summarize, he's going to lose his license because um, the woke tards in the Canadian was
Wasteland.
it the College of Psychologists of in Ontario are saying that he's been posting naughty words against troons like alienate page.
Ellen. It's Ellen.
Yeah.
It's Ellen. It's always been Ellen. It's always going to be
She
Ellen.
was in Trailer Park Boys,
Yeah,
which
she
Yeah.
which
played. I
by
think
the
she
which by the
played.
way Jordan Peterson loves. So I think
Hmm.
that hits close. That hits close to him.
Yeah, he says that it was again first. The two main ones were first he was saying bad things about Canada's first Black Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and called him the worst Prime Minister in the country's history. And the second is let's see, forward consequence of the other arguably political opinions, a judgmental comic I directed toward um, he directed toward Trudeau's former chief of staff, who resigned under a cloud of controversy, an ironic comment about the diverse identity claimed by an Ottawa city councillor, and the entire transcript of a 3-hour public discussion with podcaster Joe Rogan, where he criticized the unreliable climate and economic models upon which we are now predicating our increasingly tyrannical international order. And then, of course, the one that really got everyone's panties twisted his bunch was when he criticized the gender affirmation surgery for Troony Troons.
If it was
Which
gender affirmation, they would have just given her bigger tits because
perhaps.
her gender was female.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna affirm that, I don't understand that. But well, it's an Orwellian thing. Just call things the opposite of what they actually are.
I feel bad for Ellen Page because I can't if you watch the episodes of Trailer Park Boys that she's in, you're seeing a girl that has either been raped or is about to be raped.
There's definitely something to it because I feel bad for her because yeah, as you say, she's trying to deal with some kind of trauma, and she's just making it worse because she just made herself unemployable.
Well, I mean, she could have just stuck being a lesbian or at least bisexual. I mean,
She wasn't a lesbian. There's no such thing as a lesbian. She was traumatized. And dude, if you look at, she did a movie when she was around that age called Hard Candy. Did you ever see
oh,
Hard
right, I
Candy?
remember
Yep.
that movie.
Yep.
With the guy who played Owlman from The Watchmen?
Yeah. Patrick Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Patrick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is all about, that movie is all about child exploitation. Like, I think it's involving pizza and,
But which Night Owl? The old Night Owl or the new Night
No,
Owl?
the guy who's in the
younger
country
guy.
movies.
Okay.
the which, yeah,
Yeah, he played
the
Ed Warren.
Yeah.
Ed Warren, yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, I don't know. He's not old. He's not young anymore, but
He's firmly in like middle-aged daddy territory.
Mhm.
yeah, at this point, yes. So there's something happened to Ellen Page. She was abused, and her parents probably sent her right into that abuse. So there's no one around her that she could trust. So she started playing this character, Elliot. Elliot is the character, and Elliot is meant to give her what she needs to be protected from the people who abused her. But she
Elliot
has
isn't
no idea
gonna
what
be-
it takes to be Elliot.
Elliot isn't gonna be raped in her mind. Elliot is the guy who isn't gonna be raped or whatever, or abused or taken advantage of by the people who took advantage of her. Like,
Exactly.
Elliot protects me. But what do I have to do to be Elliot? I don't know, because I'm not a dude. So I guess I'll just like mimic what I
Grow
see.
a
in
beard?
movies.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a beard. Now I'm Elliot. No, man. It takes a lot more than that.
I guess I'll just like
And I'm
talk in a deep voice about like football and drink a lot of beer and say like how much I like He-Man toys because I'm a dude now.
Until he gets.
Unfortunately, she's going to aim her anger at every group of males except for the one with the big noses that are responsible for it.
Mhm. Oh, and
No,
Paul Costa says if we need to do a Jordan Peterson impersonation, we have to do a Kermit the Frog impression.
Oh yeah, I can't do a good Kermit the Frog impression. I never could.
Hey ho, Kermit the Frog here.
and what will happen if, for example, Elliot gets Me Too? Because now he's a man.
That could
Well,
happen.
That's gonna be
Spot on.
It's just a
transphobia
matter
because.
of,
Go ahead.
it's just a matter of time before one of these women pretending to be dudes gets Me Too'd as a dude, and then suddenly she'll be a woman again.
But oh my God, you can't say anything bad about the transgenders. They do nothing wrong.
That's
I
why
mean,
they become transgender. That's why they have trans before man or woman, because man
yeah.
and women are fallible, are human. But trans are the new aristocracy. They are gods on earth. They are
I mean,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what Chris Chan raped his mom and got away with it.
Oof.
That's
Yeah,
illegal.
and the earliest it was Fallon Fox. He literally busted a chick's skull open, and he's like, "It was because she was a turf."
He enjoyed beating that woman, and he enjoyed bragging about it too. So, yeah, the attempt with Jordan Peterson is to re-educate him. I hope what he ought to do is record the whole thing. Like, just get there, take his phone out, immediately take his phone out. And if they send him home, they send him home. It's all live streamed.
Maybe
I
you
mean,
could.
he may be unable to exercise, as we say in Spanish, as a psychologist anymore, but at least he'll get fucking rich off of the hits on YouTube.
Hmm.
I mean, he's already
And-
pretty rich.
Well, sure. I don't think he needs to work as a psychiatrist anymore, psychologist, whatever you call it nowadays.
He could do like Dr. Drew does, have like his own little like advice show.
I mean, that's kind of what he was angling towards. That's kind of what he's been angling towards.
Yeah. But yeah, this was what got him suspended off of Twitter. Remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breasts removed by a criminal physician? Yay!
Huh.
And then
That's funny.
blah, blah.
I
I was
old
trying to
enough
do
to
Kermit the Frog.
I'm old enough to remember when Comics Day was torn asunder because someone said something about pride being a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I always say pride is the worst sin of all. But yeah, and then so he was saying, was this a political? Something about, was it his right to his free speech to shoot his mouth off, or was it egregious and increasingly widespread medical crime? Then he goes on to say, Ellen Page was no minor when her breasts were amputated, magically transforming herself into the now mandatory Elliot. This does not. She definitely got implants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Implants.
Which is just such a weird thing to do.
He has
I
like
think
the
implants are
abs.
strange.
He has the abs like of someone who's like 2 sizes bigger than him or her, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he has the.
Well,
She's a fucking lightweight. She has the abs of like a welterweight or like a light heavyweight. It's fucking crazy.
there's your dysmorphic response. The abs for Ellen are the beard, right? She thinks that the abs make her a dude. I feel bad for her, man.
I mean,
Are you
there's
saying
women
that
who actually.
to be a dude, in order to be a dude, you need to be jacked and strong? Wow, that's so stereotypical and so even patriarchal, if I may say so. Crazy, right?
I mean, the abs don't even match her arms. I mean, usually if you have abs like this, your biceps are like, boom, like
That
basketballs.
fucking and that fucking head angle, the way she's smiling, that's a girl thing. Dudes don't smile like that. We don't tilt our heads and show our teeth like, hi.
Unless you're a
That's a
faggot.
female.
There's also an angle of her career was dropping off because she was going nuts, and the I'm a troon now thing. I think she thought, because of course she's only surrounded by rainbow sycophants. I think she thought would provide a resurgence to her career, and the noodle arms shows that she's fucking lazy.
She also got in trouble because she made a comment about Gamergate or something like that.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Also, point. Do you think it was coincidence that they also made what's it, Shadowcat? What what
Oh yeah.
Ellen played in the one of the X-Men movies, and Shadowcat just happens to be trans too?
Wait,
She's
what?
trans?
Coincidence?
She's
Kitty
not
When
Pryde
did
is
that
trans.
trans?
Yeah, Shadowcat, the one who can go through walls.
She's trans now? What the fuck? When did
Yeah.
that happen?
I knew she was bisexual now, but I didn't know she was trans now.
It was like
Please tell me that's not fucking true.
a couple.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I just googled
Alright.
Shadowcat trans. And that's not
Yeah, it says Kitty Pride. Let's see.
I
they
read
did
they
make her bisexual, but that's stupid.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh,
The last I knew, she was involved with Pete Wisdom.
okay. So maybe I thought they made. I thought like one X-Men comic they made Kitty Pride trans, but I guess just queer.
Alright, well, I guess it's something.
Everyone has to be special. Everyone has to be special.
Do you
I
saw
mean,
that?
more special than a person
It's
that
called
can
gender
literally go through
special.
fucking walls. Can you imagine that? Being a superpowered superhuman isn't special enough. You also have to be gay.
Do you saw that video that I show on Discord about how this drone who works at Marvel says that all characters are codified as queer because they are in the closet?
Everything is me.
So
Everything is me.
yeah, they're doing the old we need to change comics because comics were always woke thing. Which would be hilarious if it wasn't so sad because they're destroying everything. Oh no! You see, Jack Kirby and Stanley, they were social justice warriors, and all the comics were always on our side. So then,
But
why
then
are you
again,
changing
they
them?
turn around and complain
why
that
are you changing them? Well, shut up, Nazi.
It reminds me of that time Spike said, if you find someone who say the X-Men have been always woke, show them this panel from what was Uncanny X-Men 96, in which Kitty Pryde used the N-word with a plaque.
Yeah.
the other thing is like people like to say how progressive Jack Kirby and Stan Lee were, but then turn around and say and disparage them because two white guys created Black Panther.
Oh yeah, they were always
Well,
Jewish, but
Stan Lee
you know.
wasn't white. And yeah, I think Jack Kirby was of the same tribe, wasn't he? So
That's something that they always leave out when they talk about like the demographics they belong to. I wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the rest of this screed from Jordan Peterson says trans is bad. Ellen Page made a mistake. Surgeries are bad.
Yes.
You butcher kids.
He's
And
not
how
wrong.
he's afraid of and how he dares them to take his license. So Godspeed, you magnificent frog-voiced bastard. And also on the chopping block, Russell Brand.
Oh
denies
yeah.
serious criminal allegations he claims are being made against him. So he made this video. I don't know if we can play it, but he has denied various very serious criminal allegations that he claims will be made against him by a newspaper and TV company. And here's I'll open this in a new tab. This is the latest we'll probably go to. So in the video, he says that he's denying allegations that he described as a litany of extreme, egregious, and aggressive attacks. And he said, and of course, he was very promiscuous at the height of his career. His relationships were always consensual. And this comes ahead of a special program by Channel 4's Dispatches, which is set to air, well, yesterday night. And a report by the Sunday Times newspaper is also set to be published overnight. He said that, now, this isn't the type of video we make on this channel, where we criticize, attack, and undermine the news and all its corruption. Because in this story, I am the news. I received 2 extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper listing a litany of extreme, egregious, and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, and that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. And of course he says that these allegations pertain to time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and I was written about extensively in my books. I was very, very promiscuous. And then he's saying he claims he's being transparent and saying that I'm aware that you guys are saying in the comments for a while saying, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you. You're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not kill himself.
This is also true.
Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah. So let's take a look at this quick link, the update. So it says, well, Russell Brand, well, snap, snap, ring a ding ding. Russell Brand accused of rape, sexual assault, and emotional abuse by 4 women. Allegations he denies. So, blah blah. The Sunday Times reports that others have made a range of accusations about Brand's controlling, abusive, and predatory behavior. Even over he denied the criminal allegations. Blah 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 blah. What else? I'm gonna look at this mess. Gonna get serious. Okay, so the details. One of the accusers claimed she was 16 and still at school when they began a relationship, having met each other while she was out shopping in central London. But isn't the age of consent 16 in England?
I have no idea.
Well,
Oh.
that's just one quick Google search away.
Then another woman claims to have been raped by Brand at his Los Angeles home.
Yep, it is 16 years. So shut up.
Yep. Where she was treated at a rape crisis center on the same day and sent him a text afterwards saying, when a girl says no, it means no. The third woman alleges he sexually assaulted her at his West Hollywood home after the pair met at Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, that's
I'm
the
not
last.
saying
That's the
I'm
last place you'd pick up chicks.
I'm not saying it's all carefully tailored to make him look as guilty and as scummy as possible. I'm just saying that if that was their intention, this is how it would look like.
Have you heard the recording of one of his accusers?
Nope.
No.
So. Do you guys know who Better Bachelor is?
No.
No.
He goes by the nickname Joker. He's like a manosphere YouTuber. He's one of the less like aggressive ones. He's kind of like MG and what is it? MGTOW, men going their own way. Like guys just accept unlike, and I think he's more close to the answer than like I don't think people like Fresh and Fit are right in their, like, they're right in their diagnosis, but their treatment plan is to manipulate women and overpower them socially. And I don't think that that's the answer. Joker's answer is like, hey man, they're fucking crazy, and there's no legal way to get them to listen to reason. So just back off and let them have their fucking craziness. He's, I think, the closest to the answer that anyone is, and he's zeroed in on this, and he played a recording of one of the accusers, and he's like, "This is AI." And the two things that he stands on saying that it's AI is, one, how clean the recording is, which he's right. If that was recorded in some sort of interview room, it's way too clean. It sounds like it was recorded in a pristine booth. And the lack.
No, continue. I heard that recording yesterday on Flashcast because they were talking about this.
And there's also a lack of inflection, of like emotional response. It sounds like a voiceover reader that's getting it one line at a time. So there's an argument to make that this is all being manufactured.
Perhaps. So where were we? Oh yeah, the fourth accuser claims to have been physically and emotionally abused by him. Then a female comedian who, coincidentally not been named, recalled being grabbed and bitten in the face by Brand when they gigged together in the early 2000s, and she likened his behavior at parties to the character in the 1987 film Predator. So you're saying that he can go invisible. He has a shoulder-mounted laser.
He stuck you to the Mexican jungle, and when he couldn't get you, he just like self-destructed.
And he picks up people and skins them and hangs their remains in trees. Is that what you're saying? You're comparing Russell Brand to a space hunter, a space game hunter.
I kind of want to hang out with Russell Brand now. Whenever someone says that guy reminds me of the Predator from like the 1987, I'm like, that's gonna be one fucking cool dude. I want to hang out with him.
Then another comedian told the Sunday Times that Brand's name was regularly circulated in online groups of female comics. I know for many years that women have been warning each other about Russell, he told the paper. I
forget who it was. But there's someone that was in the comedy world that said that they know a lot of dirt about Brand. So at the very least, I'm willing to believe that he gave women heroin and crack or whatever pills and then had sex with them. I believe that. I think that's very easy to believe. That's a constant. And it's funny because I pay less attention on the article, more attention on the discussion about the article. I have always had a rule about not giving women drugs because I don't think women can handle their drugs. And so whenever I've been in a social situation with women being like, "Oh, I've never smoked pot before," I'm like, "I'll see ya. I'm out. I'm not into that."
Well, this is probably his most famous known scandal, which in 2008 he and presenter Jonathan Ross left a series of lewd answer phone messages for Andrew Sachs, claiming Brand had sex with the actor's granddaughter. And Andrew Sachs, who is familiar with the show Fawlty Towers?
I am, but I've never actually watched it because it wasn't a big thing here.
Oh.
It's fantastic. It's worth watching. It's kind of weird how they ended it.
Yeah, it was the servant guy, Manuel.
Oh, really?
I think his name was. Yeah.
That's strange.
And then after that whole thing, he went to Hollywood. And of course, he was also famous for marrying Katy Perry, but then they divorced. And now he's married and has 2 kids and expecting a third. And of course, being the conspiracy guy we all know and love. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think?
Well, I already said what I think. Like, I'm not saying this is all fabricated to make him look as bad as possible, but if that was the objective, that's how this would look like.
It's a lot like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that Andrew Tate ran a skeevy cam whore business. I am not convinced that he was involved in human trafficking or abuse of his employees to do it. But the timing of it was him offending the oligarch.
I don't think there were
And-
any accusers on Andrew Tate's case, right?
No, there were, but then like it was like a couple of them. It's not that they recanted; they said I didn't say that. So it's very unreliable as to who's accusing him of anything, if anyone is.
Right.
So this
Um,
following story kind of gave me a little bit of crisis. So Joe Biden's TikTok army received hundreds of thousands from this gentleman, this sexy stud on our picture, on your screen, to bash conservatives. So, what does this? What am I saying? So, so is this a real person? Because I was having a little thinky thought, and during the late nights, and I was thinking about like all these leftist people, like this Victoria Hammett, and people who just believe the most outlandish leftist talking points, and I'm like, are these really humans or are they some sort of humanoid construct? Like the body snatchers from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like, is this why the uncanny valley
Well, the
reflects?
body snatchers were originally a metaphor for communists. So yes, they are body snatchers technically.
But yeah. So this humanoid construct is the group's deputy executive director. Deputy executive director, who always talks about it. U.S. interference. Okay, continuing. She sounds the alarm on women's issues such as reproductive rights. And then this is the thing. It's called Accelerated Action, and they have another, and this is a nonprofit called Gen Z for Change. Notice the rainbow heart, which is very bigoted because they don't have the trans flag in there, and the BLM fist, which is disgustingly white. Bunch of what racist symbology. Okay, so this Gen Z for Change was invited to the White House to witness the signing of the Inflation Reduction Act. That did not work. And it gets a lot of money from the Soros cash, so they don't know how they spend it on the young influencer activists who accounts are littered with White House and far left talking points. They talk about Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, Palestinian liberation, and a plethora of progressive policies the vast majority of Gen Z supports, which doubt. And here's the group founder. His name is Aiden Cohn Murphy. Cohn.
like Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pro-Palestina.
I mean, I think that the pro-Palestinian thing is a fucking smokescreen.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
if you want to see how this money moves, just follow the trail of paychecks made to Destiny and Cincinnati. You'll find that these people are getting paid from the same coffers.
Right.
Yeah, and this guy, he has 288,000 TikTok followers, while this other human construct has 819,000 followers because tits and pussy. This Connor Staten, 20, who is the digital marketing strategist, has sharp words for the for this Representative Elise Stefanik after the Buffalo shooting, accusing her of repeating neo-Nazi and white supremacist talking points. And then he's like, Elise, maybe you should keep your mouth shut. He said in a video in the same month to his 557,000 TikTok followers. And of course, the source is Gen Z grunts are worrisome. Yep. And roughly 2/3 of accelerated actions, 8.3 million for 2020 and 2021, came from Soros. Yeah, so this is why I don't have TikTok. It's because these humanoid constructs are there infesting little Marxist earworms into the youth of America and also turning them into zomboids. So follow the money.
And never download TikTok. TikTok is fucking evil.
Yep.
And it's 6 letters, right? It's tick, that's 3. Talk, that's another 3. That's 6. That's 2 6s. I'm sure we can find the third 6 somewhere around there. So I'm pretty sure TikTok is fucking devil.
It's the devil.
Fucking
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you compare Chinese TikTok with American TikTok, it's radically different because the Chinese TikTok supports like science and creativity and the good values, good educational morals, while American TikTok is like trans, big titty bitch, NPC, yum, ooh, hot dog, ooh, flower, oh, kitty, meow. That type of shit. Oh God, I can't believe it. God, take me. If I do weird ass shit like that, please take me out back and just 30 adds 6 to my temporal lobe, please. Our last story. Maybe it's not big, but I guess South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is having an absurdly blatant and public affair with Hansi Trump aide Corey Lewandowski.
Who the fuck cares?
It's funny that they went after Boebert and Noem in the same 24 hours.
I mean, yeah, here it is. Man groped by Lauren Boebert during Frisky Beetlejuice Day owns gay-friendly bar that hosts drag shows. I mean...
This is the level of modern-day journalism. This is fucking pathetic. Is this what they're doing?
Yep. So, the married
an affair. You know who had an affair with little children? Basically everyone in the Democratic Party and Hollywood.
I mean,
fuck yourselves.
It's stupid for Noam to be having an affair. It is stupid. Like, that's fucking retarded. That's a majorly stupid thing for her to do.
Here's the couple. Where's Kristi's hand? Where's Kristi's hand?
The word is that it's been an open secret for a long time. If, like, pick who you're going to be in a relationship with and be in a relationship with that person. This is baby brain stupidity for both of them. So it does suggest that maybe they wouldn't be great leaders.
But yeah, when did it say? So apparently this person said that it started at the 2021 Conservative Political Action Conference in Orlando, Florida. And this person said that Noam and Lewandowski were getting handy at the bar of the Hyatt Regency Orlando. And it wasn't he's like, it wasn't like 2 a.m. It wasn't like we caught them at some dive bar miles away. It's a lobby bar where everyone is staying, so there's a bajillion political operatives and journalists and electeds around. I mean, and the liaison emerged 1 week after Noam, a 51-year-old mom of 3, formally endorsed Trump for the 2024 thing.
Look, man.
That we cannot pronounce.
Which raises the speculation that Trump might pick her as his running mate.
She's 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, her and Boberta put in the ILF back into GILF.
I know, right? I thought she was like in her 40s tops.
And then this other second person says that he's 100% banging her. I mean,
wow, that's
maybe not 100%, but
she may have got down on her knees or made him get down on his knees.
Maybe not 100%, but I mean, it definitely looks like they're getting down. They shouldn't be. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah. And then
the story isn't the story. The timing of the story is the story.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, and yet another person who saw them at Mar-a-Lago said, I saw her, Christy, on his lap. I thought they were a couple. They were all over each other.
If I was married to a woman who was behaving this way, I wouldn't be married to that woman.
Yeah, and this is her husband. So, I mean, he's a decent-looking guy, but I guess she belongs to the streets.
They all belong to the streets, Jez. They all belong to the streets.
Yep. And, oh yeah, yet a fifth person told the Post that fellow GOP operatives were well aware of the fling and suggested the story finally appeared in print thanks to one of her competitors for VP. So this could be like an inside job.
Well, that's interesting because if it's going to be anyone, it's probably Carrie Lake.
Let's see. Oh, well, they do mention Carrie Lake. They also mention Mike Pompeo, Marsha Blackburn, Rick Grinnell, Elise Stefanik, Vivek Ramaswamy. No, Vivek Ramaswamy and
I could see Vivek dropping that goss. Hindi dudes are essentially women. Don't trust them. They're sneaky.
Sir, redeem this affair between the two Trump people. Yep. And then, well, she did try running. She was a potential contender, but opted not to enter the race. And apparently they also say that Noam's husband is said to having moved out of the governor's mansion roughly 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That means it's most likely true. Don't do stupid shit like that.
And there's Noam showing off her sinful shoulders to El Trumpero.
Can we all agree that she's fucking jacked? Look at her biceps.
Yep.
Grandma puts the work in.
And then she's, oh, where's Trump's hand? It's on. Okay, it's above the waist. You may not see because it's kind of small.
I wouldn't worry about any of that. Trump, if you notice, he doesn't fish from the company pier. He bangs models and hookers and porn stars. He doesn't fish from the company pier. He's smart.
Yeah, and here they are eating together. Oh, and then and then Lewandowski also reportedly engaged in an on again, off again relationship with then White House communication director Hope Hicks. So I don't know if this is like their kid or just some random little or
Kid that
her.
they grab from the street for the pig.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh God, this is when Lewandowski told me he was from the bad part of Boston and killed people. Well, let's
Bad
go
part of
back.
Boston. Which bad
Oh,
part of bad
okay,
part of
so
Boston?
it says
Southie?
here.
Not Jez
Yeah.
talking.
I was looking for more context. So apparently
Uh-huh.
this is from this individual
don't-
called.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how you don't get that. I was talking. That doesn't. When I say that, that doesn't mean continue to talk over me. That means shut the fuck up. What I was asking is which bad part of Boston, Southie, Eastie, or the North End?
It doesn't say. But according to this Treshelle Odom, Lewandowski asked her for a hotel room number, made inappropriate comments about his genitals, and then Odom was like, "Well, I'm from a bad area in California," in which he replied, "He's from a bad part of Boston and have killed people." He then went into detail and stated something to the effect of, "When I was 10, I stabbed someone over and over again, killing him." And he continued and shared that when he was older, he stabbed a man in the back of the head, also killing him.
He would have been in jail for that. You don't get away with that shit in Boston.
Yeah. Well, either he's good at getting away or he's talking mad shit, and if the wrong people find out, he's gonna find out.
He's talking mad shit.
Yeah. So let's see. I guess that's that's it. And then they're like, "Oh, it's so predictable that they attack her after she endorsed the Trump man." So that's all the news for today. Oh, we got some in the chat.
Oh yeah, Hero is. Oh man,
Hero. He says Lauren Boebert is 36. So she's still a MILF.
are you a MILF with 36? I thought you were like just like still young
You can
hot
be a MILF
territory.
at 17 if you think about
No,
it. It's
that's
like,
true. That's true. You're not wrong there.
it's about being a mother.
Mm-hmm. Then he says, so Christina, oh, he meant Kristi Noem, was not picked by
Oh.
Trump because Trump's social conflict in her. Oh, Trump saw a conflict in her. And this is starting to reflect the early 60s. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hero, you may be on the right track because we almost had a Kennedy got
Yep.
murked again. So you might be onto something. So I guess that's all the news for this week. Anyone care to share their future plans? Let's start with Midnight. Midnighter.
Just working.
Hmm. And Mega, what you got on the Komal?
Just work and commissions, nothing more.
And Canalgus?
Well, now that I have more time, I have resumed going to my dad's gym where I get the shit beaten out of me by professional fighters regularly. But I love it, and I wouldn't change it I wouldn't exchange it for anything else in the world. I don't know. I guess I just like to fight.
Good. I'm just probably gonna do my normal stuff as work and fight with the Mew.
which is in itself a full-time job.
Yep, and who is also trying to use her connections to Myoive shut this stream down, which we'll do right now. So everybody, say goodbye.
Adios.
Everyone have a nice night.
Hasta
Bye.
luego.